What's going on, y'all? This is Mike Brown, and I just wanted to welcome y'all to this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. Shout out to all the international listeners from South Africa to Australia to Canada, all the way to Tokyo. Shout out to all the mothers, the mamas, the baby mamas, the baby's mamas. It's Mother's Day weekend. It wouldn't be no life without y'all. And also, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. I love hearing what y'all think about the show and how it helps you. So, thank you. Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Today, I have a special guest in the building. I feel like we would always just see each other in passing. Yeah. And always just be like, hi, but you always just had good energy, and like it's been cool living in the same space as you, not in the actual space, but we are neighbors. Would you mind introducing yourself to the people?
Yeah, my name. It's so funny that you say that, because y'all, literally every time I see Mike, I just always got some wild-ish going on. I've been in a bonnet. I've got on my bifocals, my top and bottom don't match. I'm falling, and I'm just like, he is going to think I am insane. But no, that's part of, I guess, the charm that is me. My name is Toi Creel. I'm an entertainment reporter. I am a wardrobe assistant. I do a little fashion work. I'm a content creator, and I'm a mommy.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
To be.
And this is the exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exclusive. So how do you feel today?
Today, I feel really good. I've been trying to, in light of carrying a child, a very unplanned child, but still a very wanted and blessing and very appreciated and grateful to be able to carry a life. So I feel special with that today. I woke up this morning and I talked to my baby. I said, I'm happy for you. I'm glad to be here. You are favored by God. You're special to me. I'm grateful that I get to feel you kick. So it's a good reminder for him, but also a good reminder for me to take things slow. Yeah. And also, at the end of the day, I can only worry about me and my baby.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. What has been your biggest challenges so far?
In life?
Well,
when I was 4.
In your pregnancy experience, because I mean, obviously you've been pregnant in a pandemic. So what has that been like for you?
Thinking about virtual baby showers. My sweet baby. I've never been pregnant before. This is a whole new experience. This first one out this John, I figured it out every day. And then on top of that, so I'm pregnant in the middle of this pandemic, right? I had to figure out, I'm a firm believer in God. Like, I'm so big on faith, but I had to figure out if this was going to be, if I was going to carry this pregnancy out to term. Cause I was just like, how do you work in entertainment? My finances aren't where I want them to be. I'm not married, and adding all these things on top of that, adding a life. I don't know how to be nobody's mama. So I was terrified. And so those challenges, and on top of that, my mom had gotten sick around the time, and we were trying to figure out if it was cancer or not. So having that, I started a new job, and then it seemed like everything in my life was going nuts. Somebody stole my car. We were having issues at the apartment. My child's father was in a different state. Yeah. And so collaborating and combining all of those really was the mental health portion, because I felt like I was about to lose my mind, and I kind of did for a little bit.
How did you pull it all together?
I really commend my village, and I commend my friends, because I think a lot of people were able, and I also went to the doctor's office too. I got into therapy. I went to my first therapy visit, which was cool. I think my friends could see that I was very, very close to sort of losing it. And I had a friend that came to stay with me for a little bit and offered some good emotional support. And I think my one friend it booked me some time at the spa, and really just focusing on the things that I could control. I'm happy. My life is okay. I'm still favored, even though I'm going through a very difficult time right now. And me and my baby is going to be okay. Just like Beyonce said, or whatever she said. Me and my baby, we going to be all right. I know I sound like Beyonce. You didn't know Mr. Neighbor Mike.
That's hilarious. I kind of want to go back to something you said, like, about actually making the choice of, like, seeing your pregnancy through. Like, what was that like, making that decision?
Woof. That was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, because it's like every part of me was tested.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I lived my life as a Christian, and when I imagined kids, I was going to be married. And so to be in this space where I was just like, how am I? Kids is kids. And then they turn into humans.
Right.
And I was like, how am I capable of bringing a life into this world? And I was very, very depressed. And I lost about 15 pounds between feeling nauseous, but feeling angry with my body, feeling like I had let myself down, feeling very irresponsible, feeling just like I could not wrap my head around it. So I stopped answering phone calls. I got off of social media. I stopped responding to my friends' texts. And I would just walk around my apartment and cry.
Wow.
And I would just be like, how do I think my way out of a situation like this? Because it's not really something. And I think I tried to go to the abortion clinic probably about 3 times.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, God, I know this is not what you want, but, you know, this is something that I'm thinking about doing. And I would just be outside of it, and I would start tripping. The lady had the pills. There's 2 pills. This is kind of graphic.
It's okay. Yeah. You got the
um,
space to share whatever you want to share.
It's 2 pills that you can take, and you have to come back on the 2 different days. And she handed me one. I was like, well, I have to come back tomorrow. I kind of can't. And she was like, it's fine. You can just take the 2 right now. I'll just let you. And I was like, I froze, and I couldn't do it. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was like, it just really does not make sense for me to add this on top of everything else that I have going on in my life. And I got to about 10 weeks, and I was like, okay, so I made an appointment at Planned Parenthood, and I made an appointment at the doctor's office for prenatal visits, and I was like, one of those has to get canceled. And I made the decision because I have this feeling, even though I'm like very terrified right now, that everything is going to work out.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know how it's going to work out though. But I have a feeling. And so I talked to my baby and I said, hey, mommy is grateful that you're here. Mm-hmm. And I'm very appreciative of your little life. And I believe that you are special. And I fought very hard for you. And I'm not sure why. But it is going to take me a minute to get to joyful. And so that doesn't mean when you get here that I'll be any less willing or excited to see you, because I'm doing all the preparations now. It's just going to take me a minute, but I promise you just give me grace. And when you get here, you are going to be so loved and so cared and protected for.
Yeah.
And that's how I made it.
Yeah. That's dope. Do you feel like your emotions affect your child?
Yes. The therapist said, you shouldn't be stressed out. Because then, where does that go? Your stomach. And then it's like you're feeding your baby a stress sandwich.
Wow.
And all I can think is him eating some ribs that say stress on them. I don't want to feed my baby stress barbecue. I don't want to feed my baby stress barbecue, y'all.
That's real. So
yes.
So I know you are doing therapy. How else are you managing, I guess, like both your self-care and your baby's care?
I've been having to remove myself from situations because I can get to the point where I start to stress and I can feel it in my body and it physically gives me pain. So I've been having to, if I can't handle a situation, then I've just been having to walk away from it, or have conversations that make me articulate my feelings as an adult, which is hard because I'm a little bit, child, what's it called when you avoid confrontation or you don't like it?
I don't know what it's called, but I definitely can relate to that.
I don't like it. I don't enjoy having hard conversations.
And sometimes they don't be that hard. I think the buildup of them in our minds can be a lot harder than they can actually be. Because I'll be there too.
That's good. Ooh, this is the art of letting go. I feel like I'm releasing right now.
But how do you have those, like, how do you get out of your own way and have those conversations?
My mom just called me and told me that I need to stay out of it. And I think at the end of the day, so I worry about a lot of different people, our dynamic, what that's going to look like. I have conversations about people and their situations in my head. And I think at the end of the day, it's really just about, am I okay mentally? Is this a life or death situation?
Are you an empath?
An empath?
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I?
I mean,
Can you take a quiz?
You sound like you might be though. Like you definitely like. Do you take on other people's stuff?
Yes. Don't everybody?
Nah, everybody doesn't do that. But yeah, you gotta protect yourself. And kind of going back to what your therapist was saying about everything going to your stomach. So I have IBS. I don't know if I've ever shared that here, but irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay.
And yeah, it's affected by stress. And a lot of times it's me taking on other people's stuff, and it goes right there. And I feel the pain. Nobody else feels this pain but me. So it's like, why am I taking this on, you know?
How do you get out of those situations?
I think I have to take a moment to look at them, because it's easy to get pulled into something, you know, and to take that time to really like take a moment to be mindful and be present. So like, because when I'm in it, but then when I take that moment to be present, it's like, this ain't mine. You know what I mean? And when you start recognizing yourself getting a little too emotionally charged, it's like, I need to take that step back, or I need to not deal with this at all. And for me, that definitely comes up a lot in more family stuff than friends. And it's like, this is a lot to have to take on, you know what I mean? And especially being so far away and being by yourself, like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trust me, I feel you.
I'm crying.
No, it's
okay,
all
though.
good. It's all good. Yeah, I was definitely interested in like, just because when I got your message about what you wanted to talk about on the show, like, I was definitely interested to just dive into it, because it spoke to me for sure.
No, I think this is important, and it's hard because you have so much love for other people.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate part about that is it can be to your detriment. And while you are having a rough time carrying what somebody else is going through, or even just the way that you guys are interacting, somebody else is free and has wings, and you're chained down, and that's not good.
And like the worst part about it is, like, you may be worried about this person in this situation, and they just going on with their life, just not caring about it at all. So it's like, why should I care about this if this person is just moving on with life? Like, I have to learn how to do that as well. And it's tough. But I think the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it.
That's good.
And I think really not holding on to guilt or anything like that, especially when you feel like you're doing what's best for you, that's what's most important.
That's good. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know how you feel about faith. I'm definitely tolerant of everybody, but I just be feeling like sometimes, like, Jesus died on the cross, so why do I have to? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to hold myself to this certain standard or feel like I have to carry anybody else, because I have somebody who can do that for me.
Yeah, of course. And I think also, like, recognizing, like, everything that you've been through in your life thus far, you've gotten through.
That's good.
So why would you not get through, you know, what you're in at the moment? And I think that like, trust me, when you're in it, and I know I'm making it sound very simple, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just be great, but no, when you're in it,
other people,
you feel it. But then sometimes you have to take that step out and say, like, yo, okay, I've been through, like, my challenges at 26 don't seem that challenging now, because I experienced them at 26 and went through them at 26. Now I'm 34 and my challenges are different, but I'm also having to slow down a little bit. Like, I think we move so much that we don't really take time to just look at, like, is this as stressful as it has to be? You know?
That was so good. That was like a sandwich. Is this as stressful as it needs to be? I was going to say, no. And no, one thing. So I will say about being pregnant has really, I'm going to get up and go. I have a lot of like, type of energy. I'm very here, there. And physically now, I cannot move like that.
Yeah.
If I even get up too fast, it just feel like a lot. It hurts. Or if I have to physically, my body is telling me you have to move different. The other day I tried to take out the trash and it was way too heavy.
Wow.
And I did it anyway. And then I tried to swing it over and I strained something in my stomach.
Oh, man.
So for 3 days, I felt like somebody had kicked me. And I was like, there's really physical things that are holding me down. I physically have to treat myself nicely. And I think even though this is physically manifested for me,
yeah,
I think it's important for other people, or a good reminder that we have to be gentle with ourselves because we're kind of fragile.
Yeah.
You be feeling fragile, Mike? I be feeling fragile.
Emotionally, yes, I do. My friends say it all the time that I'm a sensitive person or an emotional guy, and I am because, like, I wear them. Like, I can't hide them because I know what it's going to do to my gut, so I have to be expressive. I have to cry. I feel like anger is one I kind of hold in just because of my past experiences with anger. Like, I didn't really know how to control it. It's almost like X-Men or something. Like, I have this power and I just rage and I don't know how to use it. So
may I ask a backup question? Mm-hmm. So what would that look like for you? Would that be you blow up on people? Would that be you used to fight people? Would that be you cuss people out?
I used to fight. I used to curse people out. I used to make people feel my pain. So you might hurt me with your words, but I'm going to hurt you with some harder words. Just because that was what I saw growing up. Like my grandmother, God rest her soul, her birthday was this week. But
oh, that's exciting.
You hurt her feelings, she going to hurt yours twice as hard.
Oof.
You know what I mean? So coming from that, like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna hurt my feelings. But what I'm understanding now is I have to, rather than letting it build up, because like I said, I be so calm that when it does build up, it becomes uncontrollable. Like my hands shake and everything. It's like, I don't need to let people get me to that point. And it's not people. I don't need to let myself get to that point. So I have to tell people like, hey, you hurt me when you said this or whatever, because I know if I don't do that, then you're going to get another side of me that doesn't feel good for me.
Based off of, okay, so with you telling your emotional truth, how do the people around you, when you got to that point of maturity where you said, okay, so this is going to be me, this is going to be me expressing emotionally how I feel and things of that nature, how did that impact your friends and the people around you? Did you have to switch anything, or switch the people who were around you after you made that decision?
I think with people I love, it was able to establish boundaries. I think with people that weren't supposed to be in my life, they ended up just leaving. But with people that I truly loved and they loved me, it's not going to be easy in the beginning, but at the same time, like, and not me expecting them to know my boundaries. Like, I have to know my boundary to even tell you, like, hey, this is what I'm not comfortable with, or we're not going to have these conversations or whatever. Or me just knowing people don't know boundaries because they've never had them. So if I've set this in myself, I have to be the one to cut it off. So like, sometimes, especially like family stuff, you get a negative conversation or something, and it's like, if I don't want to entertain it, I have to stop the conversation. Because this person, I've normalized it to where they just dump on me. But it's like, nah, I need to set the boundary for my own mental health because I can't take this on. You know. So it definitely is something that comes over time, and I will say I definitely was like faced with pushback in some situations in the beginning, like, you know, because it's new.
What did that verbiage look like? So I'm nosy. So was it like they were just, oh man, you see your cousin Keisha, you know she on her 5th baby daddy, or and then would you say something like, you know, I appreciate your opinion. What did that, talk me through what that actually physically sounded like? Because I am trying to set boundaries and I need
sometimes people
examples.
Sometimes people just bring stuff to me. Like I recognize that is my role in life. Like I create safety for people.
That's really nice. People need safe people.
Of course, but sometimes people don't have safety anywhere else, so they think they can bring everything to you.
Wow, and that's good.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse.
It is. I can see that.
Because, like I said, I take it on. So sometimes, a lot of times, with me, it's not really necessarily like this is going on with this person. It's more so I have a problem with this person, and it's like, okay, y'all both are people that I care about, and now you brought me in the middle of some shit. And like I said, I'm not a person to hold stuff in. So if you tell me you got a problem with somebody, I'm gonna bring it to that person and like, hey, y'all need to work this out. And my success rate hasn't always been good in that.
I bet you, cause listen, man, it don't work out for me.
So
I was wondering.
Yeah, so I mean, now if I have the capacity for it, I'll listen. Mm-hmm. But if I don't, I have to cut the conversation.
What do you say?
So I'll share this, and I hope my mama forgives me for this.
Sorry, but listen, right? I'm pregnant. I need help, honey.
And this is perfect for you because you're gonna be a parent. And one day, my mom, I guess she was going through something, and she called me, and I just didn't have the capacity for it. And I told her, like, you know, I'm not really trying to hear this today. And she told me, oh, you want to hear this? And I was like, no, I don't. And she continued with her story. And I remember clearly hanging up.
Okay. My baby just kicked. That's a word. He said, what?
Yeah, I hung up. And I felt bad, but I also knew it was what was best for me. And she called me back. You need help? She called me back, and I told her that I hung up because I really didn't want to hit, like, I didn't have the space for it because I was going through my own stuff. So I just didn't have the space for it. And I had to, like, I do a lot of being kind to myself now because I used to not be kind to myself. I would always like, damn, I'm messed up for doing this, or I'm this, I'm that. But no, like, now I'm like, you're doing what's best for you. You're taking care of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. Some people call it selfish, but it's not selfish. It's self-care, you know?
Selfish versus self-care.
Yeah.
To the I guess to the, what's the opposite of a recipient?
Recipient? No, I'm playing.
I made that knocking the boots noise.
Deliverer? No.
To the deliverer. No, to the deliverer.
Yeah.
It is a form of self-care. But
right.
to the recipient, it can seem selfish.
But we also don't have any control over that. Like, if I'm giving you my true, authentic feelings, I have no control over how you take that. It's like art, you know what I mean? In a sense, it's like if I paint this painting, you know, for me, it's my emotions. And I didn't paint this. This was painted by the wonderful D. Lee. But if I paint something and it's my raw emotion, if you feel like it's amazing, somebody else feels like it's not that great, I have no control over that. And I can't care about that because nobody's being as true and honest as me. You know what I mean? And that's something else that's challenging, but it's also something you have to remind yourself, like, if I'm doing what is true and right to me, I have no control over how anybody else takes that. I don't. And trust me, people gonna make you feel guilty. People gonna make you feel all kind of stuff. And you know yourself, you might take it on, but you have to remind yourself, like, I did what was best for me, and if you did what's best for you, that's all you can do. That's all we can do.
That's all you can do.
I did not know we was gonna get this deep today.
I done cried on your couch. This is our first real conversation.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious, all right. Neighbor girl being weird on your couch. This was good though. I really needed this. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
All you can do. That's all you can do.
Of course.
That's all I can do.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Oprah Mike.
What advice would you give to someone that is pregnant right now? Like, what advice would you give them with what you've experienced thus far?
Ooh, girl, shit, I don't know. Unless you a man. Ooh, boy. Advice that was given to me that I have found to be very, very helpful since. And she was like, trust your baby's spirit, because he will put your baby, he or she, will bring the right energy, the right people into your life. And that also goes true to with the opposite side. Trust your baby. And if something is stressing you out, or it's just causing you grief, or it's just, girl, it ain't moving right, you ain't feeling it, then you got to let that go too. Yeah. But I trust the energy that you have within inside of you, even though it's little, it's mighty. I feel like I got baby magic. All my friends, I honestly do. All my friends around me, the people that I put in my circle, are really just winning in consistent ways that I've just prayed super, super hard for. Self included. I hit a rough patch, but then after that, everything was good. You know, my car was stolen. Brought the car back in good condition. Found a good apartment. It's only a 1-bedroom, only $70 more than this one. Like, life is now so good. I just had to find trivial things to worry about now. Yeah. Which I should stop worrying, because we talked about this, and I need to practice the art of letting go.
Yes. You already doing it.
I know.
You already doing it. Another question I wanted to ask, because I know we've been bouncing around, but I really wanted to know what advice you would give to someone that is making that decision of, like, whether they should keep their child or not. Like, I would love to know what you would tell someone that has to make that decision or thinking about that.
I think honestly, and the decision that I had to make was, in reality, so you kind of, some things you can't plan for, but in reality, you have all the resources that you need to make what you want happen. But the question is if it is something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Because anybody knows that if you don't want to do something, you know, you go through with it, you're dragging your feet, you're thinking about it, and it's just like, I never want to be one of those people that was like, I done got this kid now, his daddy getting on my nerves, and and you in there, you walking around, you running up my floor, you getting mucks on the floor, like stuff like that. Because it's not, being a mommy is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I will say, and it's a personal choice, but if it's something that you're going to be, bitter about, or you do it begrudgingly, you want to go with like a willing spirit. Because even now, even though sometimes I go back and forth, you can cut this part out or you can keep it in. But the other day I was at Michael's and this girl walked in with a dog and I started crying because I want a dog instead of a baby. But cute dog. I do want my baby, but stuff like that. So sometimes I'll have my back and forth. And that's unfortunate when you make a big decision, because I don't know if you're ever going to be fully committed to the jump. Like, did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
But I think you have to make it up in your heart if it's something you want to do.
I think that's a real feeling. Like, it's funny, like, people act like we supposed to only feel one way or another, but it's like, I'm sure every parent at some point has felt that. You know what I mean? So that's
honest.
Yeah. So I really do appreciate you sharing that. I wanted to know, how is this affecting your career, being in entertainment?
I don't know. That's a TBD, honestly.
Yeah.
I know that. So I've worked as a production assistant on wardrobe, and that has gotten me to the point where I need to be in terms of income. And it's good, like fast money, but it's also 12-hour days. And physically,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do that for a long time. So, and then especially afterwards with, okay, you working 12-hour days, who's going to watch my child? And on top of that, I'm going to be out for a little bit. Like, popping a human out of your coochie is a lot of work and recovery. I'm like, so physically I'm not going to be able to do that. And I did just pick up a personal assistant position, and I'll have to explain to her when that time comes. I need to take 2 weeks off to get some things handled, have a baby. So honestly, I don't know. And those are still fears that I have. How can I still be an actress and have my baby? Who's going to watch my child while I'm on production runs? But I guess I'm trusting. It's a TBD.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm trusting life to figure it out. And I still have dreams. And I figure that I should still get to pursue them. And if anything, because I have my baby, he would want me to.
I think so. And I because as you're talking, I'm thinking like men don't have to deal with any of these stresses. And
man, y'all got a little different in life.
Yeah, like
what would you do if you could get pregnant?
I don't even know how I would handle that. I really don't. Like the more I talk to women in my age group, I recognize how much privilege I have. Like, even though I am a gay man, like I still have a lot of male privilege, and it's just crazy to see and experience. And like, I definitely feel for women and commend women for all that y'all endure and take on. And I definitely feel like you should pursue your career and all your dreams, because that should be normalized. Like that should be normalized for women to not feel fear of, especially like in entertainment, because I feel like that's a big thing. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So I was curious to know, how do you see yourself overcoming those fears of like both being pregnant and your career, or having a child in your career?
Well, at this point, I'm just going to have to tell people. I'm going to announce on social media that I'm pregnant, because I'm ready to share people with this belly.
Yeah.
And I also think, I believe in the power. I think there is so much medicine in sharing your life experience in real time. Like, hey, y'all, I'm on food stamps. I worked that up with the government later, but I can't get no more. Woo, just playing. IRS, don't snatch my wig.
That's hilarious.
So, what was the question?
How are you gonna But I feel like you have so much personality that I feel like it's gonna take you where you need to go, and your honesty and your realness is gonna open up spaces for you like far further than you could ever imagine.
Thank you.
Because I really think, because I'm sure, like, and it's funny, like with this podcast for me, like there were people that I think connected to my life, me sharing my life, and they connect to it, and it helps them, it helps me. And I think, like you said, you sharing your journey, like who knows what that'll open up for you. So please definitely share your journey.
I feel encouraged by that. And I think I do have my fears, honestly, but I can't do nothing but move forward. At this point, the baby gonna be here.
Right.
And I ain't finna hide my baby because he gonna be cute. And at this point, I think it's just time to share the journey. And I do have fears. Will anybody ever book a pregnant toy again? How are people gonna feel about me loving Jesus and also having a baby out of wedlock with the out of wedlock baby shower meatballs? Not in my baby shower, I'm just playing.
How do you feel about that though? Like having a baby out of wedlock. Like have you, do you judge yourself for that?
I did a little, yes, but I did not. That was one of the things that I said bye to. So I had a homegirl, and when I decided it was either going to be the Planned Parenthood appointment or the prenatal appointment, and one of them was going to get canceled, I lit a candle and I poured me a glass of mommy juice, and I said, okay, So I am saying goodbye to the idea of Toi kind of in this little maybe perfect box, that she is, that I'm going to be married and I'm going to find the perfect husband and then we're going to have kids and I'm going to have my 401k together and all my savings. I'm saying goodbye to the idea of motherhood and sort of this perfectionism, I think, especially that people have when they're raised in the church.
Yeah.
But I am saying hello to transparency and a real and beautiful life and somebody that is going to love me and my child very intentionally. And I am saying hello to this is not something that I planned for or expected, but it does not make it any less beautiful. And people been having sex for forever, and people been having messed up families or like junky ghetto situations for forever. And I'm not gonna let that shame me from living my life
at all. And
God still love me,
of course,
and you,
of course. And it's funny you say that because I think I kind of went through the same thing in coming out because I used to go to church a lot, and I still believe in God, but at the same time, I don't know if I fully subscribe to the establishment of church.
Fair.
Just because, most of my life I believe like, if you gay, you going to hell, and when I actually came out, it's like, fuck, am I going to hell? And I was telling this to a friend the other day, but I used to pray like, if this is wrong, don't let me wake up in the morning. It's like, I'm not supposed to be feeling like that. And I don't think my God would want me to feel like that. So all that extra shit is like, that's people pushing their own agenda. Like, that don't have nothing to do with God. Like, I don't think God would make me that way or put a child in you if it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah. And I believe sin, unfortunately, in all different types of forms, has consequences. That is what it is.
Yeah.
That's across all type of, if you're looking at like everything in general, same sex, premarital sex, manipulation, lying, stealing. Every single one of those has consequences. That just is what it is. Like, boom.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that blessings don't come out of those situations.
Right.
And my baby is a blessing, honey. Okay? Kenzo Matthias St. George. If that's going to... Kenzo Matthias Creel St. George.
Okay.
I think that's my baby's name.
That's what's up.
Still trying to figure out if that's going to be him. But I'm trying to see. What you think? Nothing. He's not a big talker.
That's funny. So I got a couple of more questions for you, and then I have another segment.
Sorry, I'm a chatty Cathy.
No, it's all good. It's all good. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Girl, you better live life out loud. Just live it out loud. You don't have to fear. It's okay if you feel like you're the weird girl. It's okay you don't have friends now. Because I used to be. People did not. It's not cool to be weird until you develop some of those social skills post high school or stuff like that. So I was sort of maybe everyone's friend, but no one's friend. And I had trouble sort of finding myself and like that white girl, black girl, not wanting to wear black nail polish or dress the way I dress because I felt like people would judge me. And I think I just could have been like, girl, live your life out loud.
That's what's up. What's a reminder you want to give to your future self?
Ooh. Okay, we're going in the future. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in this moment right now. And if you need to move, which likely you know yourself and you have indicators that have told you this ain't it, then get your ass up.
I love that. So this next segment I have is called 5 Questions of Freedom.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you can answer them any way you like.
Okay.
So if you could travel anywhere, where would you go today?
Costa Rica. I have an auntie who has a house. Well, actually, no. If we thinking big, that's going to happen. Thailand.
Okay.
No? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, somewhere where I could be in a tropical jungle with proper netting, so that way I wouldn't get mosquito bites. But that I could maybe ride some elephants and be somewhere eating mango and hearing birds chirp and people talking a foreign language and sitting on a hammock, swinging, covered by greenery.
Okay.
Thailand.
Okay, I like that. You could have dinner with anybody. Who would your 3 dinner guests be, dead or alive?
Wow. Oprah, because man, she's got some crazy good energy. Dead or alive. Who else? There's people that I love that are dead. I just can't think of them right now. Oh my gosh, no. Okay. Oprah, my maternal grandmother Trudell. Oh, my maternal grandmother Trudell on my mom's side, because I never got to meet her. She passed away from lung cancer when my mom was in home. When she passed away from lung cancer, and dang, when my mom was in high school, and I just want to ask her questions about what my mom was like, if she was how it felt leaving her kids behind. Did she look down on me? I really would have loved for her to meet her grandson. Stuff like that. I would love to have dinner with her. Dang, I didn't even think about that. Who else? People, someone whose work that I've admired. I guess I talked about Oprah in communications. I talked about my maternal grandmother. And maybe, who else? I guess it would be my uncle. Oh man, it would be my Uncle William. Woo! But no, I love you, but I'll save you for something else. Maybe someone like Kendrick Lamar, John Coltrane.
Okay.
Terry. I don't know. Alice Walker. No, I don't know for my third guest.
Okay,
honestly.
no, it's all good.
I ain't committed to that. I'm gonna email you later.
What has been your biggest food craving?
Fruit, watermelon, and crab legs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Honey.
So don't be surprised if your baby like watermelon and crab legs.
I have a feeling he's going to really enjoy fruit. I think he's going to like plant-based things. This is the least hungriest and least greedy that I've ever been. Also, there's less room in your stomach when you're pregnant. I know it doesn't stop other people, but for me, it makes me very uncomfortable. So I don't be eating that much. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to keep this appetite, but it's so I'm going to step on back. Let me see. Watermelon, fruit, crab legs. And I think that he likes spicy food because I had jalapeno chips the other day. Toi does not like jalapeno. Kenzo seems to like jalapeno.
Okay. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Ooh. Where this going? Beyonce is cool, but it seems like she got a funky ass attitude and no friends. So I would think Rihanna, but Beyonce in terms of her magnificence. But Rihanna in terms of like hospitality.
I feel that.
Hospitability.
I feel that. And my last question is, what is one thing you want to pass on to your baby?
Ethics. That you treat people right and the world will come back to you in a full circle that is embracing. If you put out good energy and you aim to treat not just people that you like right, but in general, you practice behind closed doors when no one can see, I'm still going to do the right thing, it will come back to you tenfold.
That's what's up. That's so dope.
I want an empathetic baby. I speak on him. Don't be trying to scam like your daddy, okay?
Toi, can you let the people know where they can find you?
Cut that last part out. You ain't got to cut that out. Okay. Hi, guys. You can find me on Instagram at Toi to the World. That's TOI, traditional spelling of to the world. You can also find me at Toi Talks on YouTube. That's TOITALKS. Any other thing that's probably not updated with current information, so you guys can just ignore that.
That's funny. Toi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Ooh, this was a nice show, honey. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
I'm glad. I appreciate that.
Good question.
Thank y'all for listening. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Peace. Peace. Thank y'all for tuning into this week's episode. If you enjoyed the show, if you didn't, if you got questions, man, hit me up. Hit me up on the social media. Hit me up at 213-394-2773. Leave a voicemail. I would love to hear from y'all. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast wherever you listen to it. It's so appreciated. Also, if you'd like to support the show, you can subscribe through Patreon. You can subscribe through Anchor. We here, y'all. Start letting go. Peace.